Good afternoon, and thank you for joining today's training. Use YouTube to grow your business. I'm Rebecca Chauncey, Interim Director for the Illinois Small Business Development Center, or SBDC, at Bill Bronzeville. We're so pleased to have you today. This training is brought to you at no cost because it's funded in part through a cooperative agreement with the United States Small Business Administration, or the USSBA, the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, and the Urban Juncture Foundation. If you have any questions today, you should type them in the Q&A section, which you could see if you hover over the bottom of your screen, and you can list questions there. We'll have time for Q&A at the end of the session. So whether we address the questions in real time or at the end, we will be able to talk through some of the things that you have questions about. And without further ado, I am pleased to introduce you to today's presenter. We've had her before, just a wealth of knowledge about the creative space and things that help you to market your business effectively and so much more. I will pass the mic over, if you will, to CJ Harris, Illinois Google Coach. Thank you, and please take it away, CJ.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Thank you for having me today. And I am super excited to share with you all a very important topic, how to use YouTube to grow your business. Now, I want to start by noting that with the holiday season coming up, getting your business on YouTube is so important now more than ever. This is an amazing way to get your product, your service, your brand in front of people who are actually looking for your products or services. So, without further ado, just a little bit about me. I am the Illinois Grow with Google Coach. I am also the CEO and creative director of That's So Creative Media, which is a full service creative marketing agency. Through the Grow with Google program, we offer free consultations. So definitely reach out to me at my Illinois Coach email. And you can also follow us on social media. Now, when you think of video, you probably think of YouTube. In fact, billions of people sign into YouTube every month to watch videos. YouTube Shorts, of course, that's a new format that's really gaining a lot of popularity. In fact, YouTube Shorts average over 70 billion daily views. Also, there are over 500 plus hours of content that are uploaded every minute to YouTube. And 100 plus countries can engage with people across the world in over 80 languages. Okay. So that just gives you a snapshot into the impact of YouTube and how powerful it can be. And so for today's agenda, we're going to talk about how to create your YouTube channel. We're going to mention how to create and add videos to your channel. We're also going to talk about how to promote your business with video ads. And then I'll end with a recap and resources. So first off, let's start by talking about how to create your YouTube channel. So for those of you who are brand new to this, or even if you've already you have a YouTube channel, just hang tight. But if you're brand new to YouTube, you've never created a channel before, you want to make sure that you sign into your Google account. Now, you always want to make sure that you are signing into an account, number one that you use for business. So we don't want to mix our business and our personal account. I also am a big proponent of making sure that whatever account you're using to manage other Google products. So let's say if you have a Google Business Profile or you're using Google Workspace, you want to make sure that you're signing in with the same account that you use to manage your other Google products. It's just going to make life a lot easier because once you sign into Google on one product, you're pretty much signed in across all of Google's products. And so you want to sign in. And then at the top right-hand corner, you'll see your profile picture. We'll teach you how to, upload that and brand your channel. But you want to click on create a channel. So when you click on your profile picture, you're going to click on create a channel. The dialog box will appear asking you to name your channel. Okay. And then you'll click create. And I'm sure some of you may have some questions around, well, what do I name my channel? Typically, you'll want to name it, the name of your business or, whatever the brand is that you're promoting. Or if it's your name, it just depends on, your content strategy. And of course, we can talk a little bit more about that later. Now, from here, you're going to click on Customize Channel, and this is going to take you to your YouTube studio. And from here, from YouTube Studio, of course, you can customize your channel and you can upload video. Now let's dive into YouTube Studio. So YouTube Studio is your channel's home. This is where everything happens. All the magic happens right here from YouTube Studio. In fact, there have been so many innovations within YouTube Studio that may not even be a part of this presentation just because it's moving so rapidly, especially with the onset of AI. And so this is your YouTube's home, your channel's home. You can customize your layout. You can create and manage playlists from here. You can see your analytics and more. Now, after closing the welcome dialog box, you should see the customization tab in your YouTube studio. And you want to make sure that you come back to this tab because customizations are going to help you to attract more viewers to your channel. So for those of you who have a YouTube channel, maybe you have a YouTube channel and you're not doing anything with it right now. You say, well, I have a YouTube, but it's kind of dead. It's just there. Make sure you go back to this customization tab. And here's where you're going to add your branding and your basic info. So first off, you have the option of adding a video spotlight. And this is the video that appears at the top of your channel's homepage. So when visitors first visit your channel, if they're not yet subscribed to your channel, they'll see this sort of welcome trailer. And that's a great way to introduce people to your channel, introduce them to your brand, give them a taste of what they're going to expect to see on your channel. Next, if they are already subscribed, you can also have a featured video appear on your channel's homepage. And you really want this video to be one of your high performing videos, something that just really showcases the depth of knowledge and experience that they can find in your YouTube channel. Also, you can manage your sections from here. So when visitors land on your channel's homepage, they'll see videos, they'll see playlists, they'll see various categories. You can choose up to 12 sections to include on your homepage. So let's say if you have a channel about cooking, right? So maybe you have certain recipe categories, or maybe you have 30-minute meals or meals for busy moms, so you start to categorize and organize your channel so that way people can find the information that they're looking for very quickly and easily without having to dig through a bunch of videos, and they can binge and they can go right to the content that they're interested in. Next up, we want to add branding to our channel. This is going to give your channel a unique look and feel. And again, it's going to help users to know what to expect if they subscribe to your channel. So first off, you can add your profile picture. This picture will appear wherever your channel is represented on YouTube. So if you like other videos, or if your videos show up in the news feed or in the in feed section, your profile picture is going to show up there. Now, you can add your photo if you're comfortable with your face. So maybe you're more like the face of your brand, or maybe it's your company logo. Whatever you choose to have there, just make sure that it represents the brand. Also, you can add your channel's banner image. And so this is the image that appears across the top of your homepage. And again, this gives viewers a sense of your channel's content. And of course, make sure that you follow the size requirements for YouTube, because we don't want a banner image that's stretched or distorted, or maybe parts of it are cut off. So definitely make sure that you are designing that in a professional way. You can use certain, editors like Canva, things like that, to design your banner, or you can hire a designer. I would say, hire a professional to do that initial banner design and your thumbnail designs, at least to create a template that you can use later. So even if you don't have that person do all of your thumbnails and all of your designs, I would say have them kind of set you up for success with that initial branding. So that's just a CJ tip. Also, you can add your video watermark. And so this will appear on your videos at the bottom right-hand corner, and visitors can use that watermark to subscribe to your channel. All right. And then, of course, once you upload all the options, you can click publish.
Just a moment,
Yeah.
please, CJ. Just a reminder to those of you who joined us after we started. If you have questions during the presentation, please type them in the Q&A section, which you'll see at the bottom of your screen. And we'll also have time at the end of the presentation for questions. So thank you, CJ.
Yes, absolutely. So, yes, Rebecca, definitely feel free to interrupt me if we see any like really cool questions in the chat, or even if it's, just a regular question. It doesn't have to be super cool. But any questions, definitely drop them in the chat. Happy to answer those questions. And so, again, you want to name your channel, and you want to have a description. This is really important. So this description is really going to, again, let people know what to expect when they are viewing your channel. This also gives you an opportunity to add links to other sites that you want to share with your viewers. So you can add contact information, you can add information about your business, your website, maybe a link to sign up to your email list. Maybe it's a link to your products, your store, your services. So maybe there's some direct calls to action that you want to put here. So there's a lot of things that you can add into this description. And so that's really important. And I noticed that people will often click on your channel's about page in that description because they want to find out more about you, more about the brand, and they're really making a decision. Do I want to commit to subscribing to this channel? Okay. And so here's an example of a well-developed YouTube channel. This is DIY Creators. And so you'll notice their banner image. You'll notice the profile picture. He's smiling. It's bright. It's branded well. And so you want to do something similar to this, where again, he's smiling. Smiling faces tend to sell more. He also has his video spotlight here. So again, as I mentioned before, this could either be your welcome message. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you'll see the welcome video, or you will see a video of like your top performing posts, if that's what you choose to put there. And so if you scroll down a little further on DIY Creators, you will see how this channel organizes its content. And so here it's showing the DIY build and furniture. So that's a section. and it's also organized by playlists. And so before we keep going, you'll also notice that once your channel is organized and customized, don't forget to integrate this into your website, your social media, your email. You want to post to your company's blog. So each time you create a new video, you want to post that video to your blog, to your website, your email, your social media. This is a really great way to get people interested in your videos. Also, just another tip, your social media strategy, you can actually create clips of the longer video and you can post those clips as YouTube Shorts or Reels or TikTok, and you can invite people to view the full video. So again, each time you post, just make sure that you are promoting it across all of your channels. Now, how do you create and add videos to your channel? Let's talk about some ways and how we can use this to promote our business. So feel free to drop in the chat. Have you ever created a video, right? It just in general. Have you ever shot a video, period? If you've ever shot a video, period, you can start a YouTube channel. So I want to encourage you that this is not just for big brands. You don't have to have a big budget. All you need is your smartphone. Most smartphones today have, really high quality, some 4K video. All you need is your smartphone. One little caveat, make sure you clean your screen. I know a lot of people sometimes, if they're shooting video, they'll forget to clean their screen. So just make sure you clean your screen, clean your lens before you shoot that video so that it's not blurry or fuzzy. But really, that's all you need. You don't need a huge production. So as you see in this slide here, you have a really high production quality video setup, and then you have your smartphone here. And so, what stories can you tell? Before you make your first video, I want you to think about what's the purpose of your video? What's the purpose of your channel? What audience do you want to reach? What do you want them to take away from the video? How do you want them to feel about your brand? Do you want them to see you as an expert? Do you want to share your origin story? So think about the focus of the video. Is it introducing your product? Are you giving an overview of your business? Who do you want the star of the video to be? Is it the customer? Are they the hero? Is it your employees? Is it you? So really think about, again, how do you want people to feel? And if you're feeling stumped, if you're like, I'm not really sure how to get started, here are a few ideas to get started, and feel free to write this down because they're not in the slide. So, number one, what is the process of your service? So, a lot of times you'll see voiceover videos, and it's like, come along with me as I create my thing, my product or service or whatever it is. Or maybe you're explaining how it works. Here's our approach to marketing. Here's our approach to how we do this service. How does your product work? That's another cool thing. So if you have a product, maybe you can show a demo video of how it works, explaining, here's how the new printer, whatever XP thing, whatever it is, here's how that works. You can also think about what makes you stand out, what makes you unique. Maybe there's an unboxing video. So maybe you do customized gifts or customized, promo products for people. So maybe it's an unboxing video, or you can do a how-to video, how to create a marketing strategy, how to build your website, how to, get new clients, things like that. Think of questions that your customers ask you. So, whatever those FAQs are, those can become the questions or the videos that you then use to answer those questions. Another cool tip that I like to give is that you can also type in key phrases into YouTube search, and you can start to see what are other people searching for as it pertains to your industry or your product or service? What other types of questions are people asking? What are some of the top performing videos in your niche, in your industry? And you can start to get ideas from that and you can do your take on those videos. So if those are, top performing videos in your industry, you can do your take on those videos. Any questions so far? All
Not
right.
yet.
No questions? Cool. So again, we talked about story types. So one story type is a business story. So you can use it to highlight who you are, what you do, why you do it. Another story type is the product or service story. So you can explain the benefits of your product or service. Again, how does it work? What problem are you solving? And then next, you can do a promotional story. So you can share timely information. Maybe it's product or service announcements or special deals. Now, as we're thinking about the holiday season coming up, this is a good story type for the product, for the holiday season. So maybe you have a holiday sale that's coming up, or maybe you have a promotion. Now, I want to caution you to use this technique sparingly. So a promotional story works best after customers are already aware of your brand or your product or service. So we don't want to hit people with a sales video or a sales pitch in the first video or the first two videos. In fact, I recommend you do what we call like stealth marketing. So let's say we're giving a lot of value, we're giving a lot of information, and it's sort of like an, oh, by the way, we're hosting this sale, this promotion. So you're giving a ton of, value, and then you just sort of casually mention, and if you're interested in more, check out our upcoming sale or our upcoming promotion. And so you're sort of weaving it into the content of the video. Another thing that is a really good best practice is to have a timely offer or a compelling call to action. So again, best practices, you want to have a clear and concise message. You want to also make a strong impression. So the first 5 to 15 seconds so that the viewer continues to watch. So we don't want to start off our video saying, hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and you're just kind of wasting a lot of precious time. You really want to grab people in the first 5 to 15 seconds with the hook, the problem. Tell me what you're gonna, what am I expecting to watch as I watch this video? Tell me what problem are you solving in the first 5 to 15 seconds? Why should I listen to you? And then throughout the video and at the end, you can have a compelling call to action or a timely offer. So again, I mentioned you can mention that call to action like somewhere in the middle of the video. And this is really good too in case people don't make it all the way to the end of the video. So let's say it's like a 5 to 10 minute video. If they don't make it all the way to the end, at least you've shared your call to action somewhere in the middle, and then you can repeat that at the end. So again, as you're thinking about your holiday sales, your holiday promotions, think about your business, think about how you may let people know, here's what we have coming up now, or here's an offer that you can take advantage of today or in time for the holidays. Now, I want to talk about a few production techniques. And so these are some of the common techniques. So again, we're trying to figure out, okay, how do I get started with video? One of the most tried and true techniques that bring YouTube to life every day is the selfie style. And this is just you or someone representing the brand, as if they're telling a story. So maybe it's a day in the life, or you're just kind of hopping on video, you're just turning your camera on and you're talking. This is a really quick and simple and authentic way to get your message out there and to build connection with your viewers. So, selfie style really builds connection and authenticity. Next, we want to think about our backdrop. So, if you notice, like even in my video right now, I'm thinking about my backdrop. I've got my bookcase behind me. Some people may want to use a flat or solid color backdrop. Maybe they want to showcase the product or service. They want to show, um, someone, maybe behind them working, so think about the backdrop. Okay, so this is a simple filming technique that can help you to reduce any background distractions, any visual clutter. We want to make sure that the videos that we create are really sleek. The other technique is a voiceover technique. So this could be a narration of your video with an off-screen voice. So you don't always have to come on camera. If you are feeling a little bit nervous about being on camera, you can do a voiceover. You can talk about the products or benefits or the unique features of whatever it is that we're seeing on screen. You can also film yourself or you can use stock video. So stock video has gotten better over the years. Or you can do a montage of photos and it's just a simple voiceover. The next technique is point and shoot. And so this technique is really handy if your video requires more action. You can bring energy and excitement to the content that you create. Maybe you're using a panning motion, you're zooming in. We're really getting to see like sort of the action. Maybe it's an event or something that requires a little bit more energy. Another technique is the top down technique. This technique is actually creating the illusion of we're looking down at you creating or doing whatever it is that you're doing. So we see this a lot with artists or people who craft. Maybe you have a channel on crochet and we're looking down at you crocheting or making the product or service. The other one is point and shoot. So this again is great for energy and action. Next is told with text. And so this is where you're adding text to a video and you can highlight what is being narrated. So this is really effective too if you have a service, maybe it's a professional service and you're teaching it how to. And so as you're talking, that text appears on the video and it really helps with the narration and the learning and the education of whatever it is that you're sharing. And then lastly, is animation and motion graphics. So maybe there's a little illustration that pops on the screen, or something zooms across, or there's a little graphic or illustration that pops up. You can use a combination of these techniques, so you don't have to use like one or the other, but it just makes for a more rich and engaging video experience. And then, of course, tips for shooting your video. So we talked a little bit about the space. So make sure that your space is free of clutter. You really want to think visually. So you want to think about the visual brand. Okay. So your backdrop, your space, your environment, all of that is a representation of your brand. So you can show your logo, you can show your workspace, you can show your studio, whatever it is. Also think about the lighting. Again, we said you don't need a fancy setup. You don't have to go out and buy studio lights, but you do need to be concerned about the lighting. Make sure that you don't have backlighting behind you. So like I have a window behind me, but I also have a lot of bright light in front of me. So just think about the lighting. You can use natural light. You want to have your face lit, right? And look for any harsh shadows. So make sure that the light isn't pouring in just from one side and it's creating harsh shadows on your face. You also want to think about the sound. So I do recommend using a microphone. You don't have to use one like the one that I'm using, maybe just a simple lavalier mic, or it could even just be like your headphones. But that will help to cancel out atmospheric noise and background noise in your videos. Um, Sound quality is really important to video, especially in this day and age where we're in sort of like the podcast age where people they may watch your video, but a lot of times they're just listening to the video and they'll have your video on in the background while they're doing something else. So that sound quality is really important. Now, if you need music or sound effects, you can access free music in the YouTube audio library. And this is really great because you don't want your videos to get flagged for copyright infringement. And so we'll talk about that as well. And so you want to add your videos to your YouTube channel. Again, you're going to click create in the top right corner. And then you're going to select the files that you want to add. The cool thing about YouTube Studio is that you can actually edit your videos in the editor. Okay, so I don't think we have a slide of that here, but in YouTube, in YouTube Studio, you can now edit your videos right in YouTube Studio. So even if you don't have like a video editing software, professional software, you can edit those videos right there. You can add, clips, you can add footage, you can trim your videos, you can add audio right from YouTube Studio. And so, again, it's very important that you choose a compelling title for your video. So, you don't want to choose anything boring like first quarter product launch, right? That's super boring. You do want to choose a title that has really great keywords. So, you want to do some research into what keywords or phrases do people use when they're searching for videos in your niche, in your industry. Look at some of the top performing videos to see how they're constructing their titles. And you want to have like a really compelling title. You also want to have a really good description, again, with the right keywords in the description. So as people are searching for your videos, it can show up in the search results. Also, your thumbnail is super, super important. A lot of times people don't read the title of your video first. They may see the thumbnail first. So you want to make sure that the thumbnail has a really compelling title. You actually don't want to use the same title for your actual video title as your thumbnail. Your thumbnail can actually be something like really fun or engaging or thought-provoking, or maybe it's a hook or something like that that really draws people in and makes them want to click on the video. Okay. Also, something new that YouTube has just added, you can actually A/B test your thumbnails and you can A/B test your titles. And so, if you're not familiar with A/B testing just basically allows you to test out different titles. We see this a lot in email marketing. We'll test out different subject lines for the email, and then whichever one is whichever title gets the most clicks or the most views, that's the one that is going to show for your video. And so this is really powerful because, again, the thumbnail oftentimes is what hooks people or draws them in to want to watch the video. And then, of course, you can add the video to a playlist. You can define your audience. So if it is like restricted video, if it's made for people over 18. Generally speaking, I'm sure most of you aren't going to be making, videos for people who are over 18. But if you do, this is where you would do that. You can also specify if your video is a paid promotion. You can also enable automatic chapters, which is really cool because it makes your video easier to watch. So you may have seen chapter time codes on longer videos, and then you can just go straight to that time code and watch the video. You can feature places, you can tag, locations in your video. You can also use tags, which are descriptive keywords that you can add to your video. You can change the language, you can add captions. You can also restrict if you want people to sample your video for shorts. You can also add categories for your video. And so this, of course, lets people know what is the category. Is it education? Is it comedy? And then you can also add comments and ratings. So you can choose whether or not you want people to add comments to your videos or rate your videos, or you can turn that off. And then, of course, there's other video elements like subtitles. You can add in-screen cards, in-screen captions. The cards can actually have polls on them or links to other videos to invite people to watch more of your videos. And then lastly, you can do video checks. So this is really important as well because you don't want your video to get flagged for copyright claims. So if you just run this little check, it will scan your video to make sure that you're not infringing on any copyright. Any questions so far? Okay. So you also can control the visibility of your video. Now, this is really cool too because you can have YouTube videos that premiere at a certain date. So let's say it's not exactly live, but let's say you wanted to premiere, you know, tomorrow at 10 a.m., right? Tomorrow, Wednesday at 10 a.m., this video is going to premiere, and you can promote your video coming out. And so that's a really great way to build anticipation and promotion of your videos. You can also schedule your videos to post at certain times. You can have unlisted videos. So let's say and I've done this before where let's say I'm applying for a grant or something, and they're asking for a video of me talking about my business. I'll create an unlisted video and give the grantor the link. And so now the only people who can see that video are people who have the link. Okay. You can also make private videos. And again, only people who you choose to see those videos can see them. You can also have videos that are only viewed by VIP customers or members. So that's a great way to control like exclusive content on your channel, which is a really cool thing. And then next, you're going to click publish and share. And you can share this video anywhere, right? You can share it via text, you can share it on social, you can share it via email. So again, as I mentioned before, you want to be very proactive in letting people know once your video has posted. And then just really quickly, we have YouTube Shorts, which are a great new way to watch videos. They're 60 seconds or less, and you only need your phone. And so YouTube Shorts has now surpassed 6.5 billion daily views globally. So if you're already creating short form content on other platforms, this is a great way to add that content to YouTube. And people are, as you can see, they're consuming this content in a more sort of short form, engaging, and viral capacity. And so, again, if you're posting long form content, this is just another way for people to gain exposure to who you are. And perhaps they'll click on your actual channel to learn more about you, more about your brand. And so, of course, there's also YouTube, the YouTube Creators channel. And so this is a really good way to just figure out what else are people doing. You can get to know some of the latest and greatest features by visiting this YouTube Creators channel. So it's youtube.com/YouTube Creators. Now, really quickly, as we are a little bit short on time, I just want to talk a bit more about promoting your business with video ads. I think people are not aware of just how powerful video ads can be, because if you think about it, if they click on your ad or if they watch your ad, you're reaching people at the right place and the right time. And that means that they're actually interested in the product or service that you're offering. So again, as we're looking at the holiday season approaching, definitely consider utilizing video ads. And so I'm just going to play this really quick.
Sorry about the snorting. Normally, after a surgical procedure, pets typically go home with what's called a cone or an e-collar. My name is Stephanie Seiberg, and I am the owner and developer of Tulane's Closet. When I was in veterinary medicine, I had a lot of clients come and ask if there was something else out there that they could use, and that's how it kind of got started. I had an idea. It's a one-piece post-surgical pet garment. The advantages of the Cover Me by Chewy is that they can eat, sleep a lot easier than wearing a cone. They can actually get through their doggy door. They can relax comfortably. Video can show people what it's made out of, how to put it on, how easy it is to use the potty cover. YouTube, it's great for people that are just starting a new business or small business owners like myself, because we're all on a budget. As you see that business is growing, you can always add to that at any time. We have doubled almost every year since we started in 2013. There's so many people now that really consider their pet their family and they want them to be comfortable. I think a lot of dogs are a lot happier right now.
Awesome. So I hope that that gave you some inspiration into just how powerful YouTube ads can be for your business. I would never have known that they had this type of garment for a dog. You know, maybe if I were a dog owner and this ad popped up in my feed, I would now know that, wow, here's this amazing alternative to the cone, right? So this is just, again, a powerful way to get your business in front of people. And so, again, you only pay when people watch your ad. So if people are watching your 30-second skippable ad in stream, you only pay if they watch at least 30 seconds of your ad. And you don't need to get everyone in front of your ad, just the people who are interested in your offer. So again, this is a really, really powerful way to get your offer in front of people. You also get real-time results about how people are responding to your video ads. And so you'll know what you're doing and if you need to do it better. And so I just want to briefly go over some of the ad formats. So we have bumper ads, which are designed to increase brand awareness. These are 6 seconds or less, and viewers actually cannot skip these. And then we have non-skippable in-stream ads. And so these are 15 to 20 seconds. And as the label suggests, viewers can't skip this ad either. Then you have outstream ads, and these show up on partner websites, and these are available on mobile devices and tablets, and there's no maximum length. Then you have in-feed ads, which appear on YouTube only, and they're shown to highly engaged users in the discovery and searching phase. So this is really powerful too, because if I'm scrolling my YouTube feed and I see an ad, if I stop and watch the ad, that means that, again, I'm highly engaged and interested in that product or service. And then you have skippable in-stream ads, and these run during or before or after videos on YouTube. They also run on display network, games, and apps. So again, the YouTube display network is very broad. So your ads don't just have to appear on YouTube. And so these ads, after 5 seconds, a viewer can skip the ad. Now, the beauty of this, let's see. Okay, we're going to talk about it on the next slide, but on the 6 second ad, this bumper ad, viewers say that they are 2 times more likely to buy something that they saw on YouTube. And you can use this in conjunction with skippable ads to lower your overall CPM, or that's cost per thousand. So you get charged based on your cost per thousand views. Okay.
Question, CJ, what are the costs for these ads? Is that I didn't know if that was coming up, but wanted to ask.
There is no cost. You can set your budget. So
Okay,
there's no set budget.
great.
Yeah, no set budget. Of course, you want to look at a reasonable budget that's going to get you performance on your ads, but it's really depending upon your brand and your industry.
Is there a minimum amount
There's no
of
minimum. There's no
budget that you would recommend? I know you mentioned it depends on the industry, but like would $25 be a good starting point?
Yeah, actually, yeah, yes, actually, you can
Okay.
put $25 in there and see what happens and measure it,
Yeah.
right? So if you do get maybe a couple clicks on your ad, you're like, well, couple clicks for 25 bucks, or, maybe I got 3,000 views for 25 bucks. Then you can really measure what will it take for me to get the number of clicks that I'm looking for. And then when we talk about conversions or conversion rate, how many clicks does it take or how many views does it take for me to get a conversion? So now we go into cost per conversion.
Thank you.
Mhm. And so I just want to briefly play this one because this is a good example of a skippable in-stream ad. And I love this one because it's not super high production. So that was just super, super easy, right? You can do that yourself on your laptop. All you need is a little bit of B-roll and some imagination and some text like that. Super easy. And the beauty of the skippable in-stream ad is that after 5 seconds, the person has the ability to skip. But if they don't watch your video for at least 30 seconds, you don't get charged. So now you have the opportunity, and if I go back, you have the opportunity to at least get your brand in front of people within that 5 seconds. So you want to make sure that your logo is visible in the first 5 seconds. Maybe you have a compelling hook or offer that's within that first 5 to 15 seconds, and you're not getting charged for that time. So you have 5 to 15 seconds to really, excuse me, to really showcase your offer. And so the other cool thing is that with the skippable ad, you have what we call companion banners. And so a companion banner is offered at no charge when you run that skippable ad. And so again, even if no one clicks on the ad or they skip it after 5 seconds or even after 30, before 30 seconds, your logo still shows at the top right-hand corner, and that's a companion banner. So again, this is a very, very powerful way to showcase your brand, get your brand in front of people, and again, especially in time for the holiday season. As we go into our next steps, does anyone have any questions? No, no questions. So I want you to write in the chat, what are your next steps? So if your next step is to create your channel, then I want you to write that down. And I want you to also think about what are your goals for your channel. Again, we talked about this in the beginning of the presentation, like, what do you want people to take away from your channel? What are the goals of the channel? And then also, how are you going to monetize the channel? So what services are you offering? What products are you offering? Perhaps you have, t-shirts or apparel or some other product that you can offer. Maybe there's a lead magnet that you can offer. Maybe you're offering an ebook or a webinar or a course, or maybe there's an exclusive community that you want to invite people to. And so that's a part of your offer or your call to action. So I not only want you to think about the goals for the channel or what you're going to talk about, but really think about that call to action. What do you want people to ultimately do as a part of this? And then if you have your channel, maybe your next step is to actually start creating and really get out there, start creating, start uploading videos, start testing out content. The only good way to get started is to actually just start. Right? Sometimes we overthink things and, we're too much into our head. I would say just do a little bit of research in your niche, plan it out, write your script. One good thing is to use a teleprompter, like a teleprompter app. If you are recording your videos, I think it just helps the video to be more concise. If you're not one of those people who can talk off the top of your head and stay on task, I do recommend that you write out your script. Think about again, how are you going to hook people in that first 5 to 15 seconds of your video? And how are you going to make it really compelling so that people will watch? And then, of course, explore additional resources. So we talked about that YouTube creators channel. And so that'll give you some more ideas and inspiration. Another thing I want to note is that YouTube has built AI is completely integrated now into YouTube. So one thing I didn't mention before about shorts is that Google Veo, you all may have heard of that. That's Google's video creation software. It's an AI creation software. And so it will actually create videos for you with prompts. And so Veo is actually built into YouTube Shorts, which is really cool. Another thing that is cool is that there is an inspiration tab that's built into the YouTube Creator Studio. So if you click on that tab, it will actually give you ideas for your next video. So it analyzes your brand and it analyzes your channel and your industry, and it will actually give you ideas on what to create. So that's a new feature that's just been rolled out, and it's really cool. So again, explore additional resources. And so again, some of those resources, you can also partner with other creatives to help you create your ads. And so there is um, a link here, youtube.com/ads/making a video ad that you can visit. And then, of course, if you want to learn more about this topic and other topics, go to the Grow with Google YouTube channel. And then if you're interested in Google Career Certificates and learning more about Google, definitely check that out. And then, of course, again, there's more to learn on the Grow with Google landing page. And again, thank you all so much for your time. Feel free to, ask questions, drop your questions in the chat. Feel free to leave your feedback as well. And thank you so much, Rebecca and SBDC Bill Bronzeville, for your time in this presentation. And definitely connect with us. Take care.
Thanks, CJ. Please keep this slide up. We certainly give CJ an applause and we thank you, as she said, for your participation. We appreciate you, CJ. As I said in the beginning of our presentation, we work with CJ in other trainings, and she's always been so helpful and real about opportunities for you to make the most of Grow with Google tools and for your business. If you're not already a client with the Illinois SBDC at Bill Bronzeville, you can do so by email, visit our website, or give us a call as listed there. But ultimately, you will need to sign up online at the billbronzeville.com/SBDC site. And then, as you could see, you can connect with CJ and grow with Google via email on social media platforms. And then you can also visit her website, bit.ly/grow with Google Illinois there. And you will receive a link to the recording for today's session. You'll receive a request for survey. So please share your feedback about today's training. There's also space for you to suggest future trainings. We love to provide training that is relevant for you and uh, that can help you enhance your business growth. And if I don't see any final questions. We thank you again for your time and attention today. Continued success, and here's to a fantastic final quarter of 2025. Amazing. We're already here. Take care, everyone, and many thanks.